right, where's the talking stick?
You think I'd have these?
Talking stick.
So we are the forest folk. We've got one of the OGs, and we got the goons over here in the fort.
Yes.
We understand you guys have a couple questions you wanted to ask for us about it. So whoever has the talking stick is going to be the one speaking in that moment, unless we have witty banter. Witty banter does not require the talking stick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What if everything I say is witty banter?
Yeah.
Witty banter.
Oh shit, the stick means nothing now.
Yeah, so everyone, for the first question we got, what did you guys write in your first reply? I think that's specifically directed at the forest folk, but I think we can also sort of talk about the idea of the box in general.
Okay. Yeah, let's go like
I think
letter by letter, right?
Well,
yeah. Joe is the first letter.
The box was Eric's idea.
And you're the poster child of Goon since you're blocking me and Ashley.
Yes. So, it is true though that we all have come here to visit. Like, this is like the Goon area too.
No, you're
But
good.
I had come here on a walk because I hadn't been out in a long time since quarantine, because who has? But I got here and I stumbled upon like a pretty built up fort, and I was like, this is crazy. And so I had this box from a short film that we were going to shoot that did not happen. But I was like, you know what? Let's use it. And so I wrote a letter just describing who I was. I didn't really put too much detail because I didn't know what I was getting into. but I wrote a letter saying like, hey, my group of friends likes the fort too. And it was I asked if we could use it. And then I put it in a bag in case it rained with the key and just like left the box here. And then I guess
He was ready for that.
And then we found the fort. When we found the box, we were already building the fort. But the box, we came back to it, and Aaron was like, Brian, Bonnie, come here. And we're all like, Aaron, flat, weaving a stick. And he's like, no, come here. And we come inside, and then there's this box. And I'm just in shock. Aaron starts opening up, and there's this little letter on top that says, to the forest folk. And then I didn't even realize Bonnie started recording, but the video that you see is just pure reaction. Like, I'm sorry for the humiliation for my family. That's how I am. It was amazing. Yes. But like finding the box was a great way to like communicate with these guys, and then we found out the OGs, the goons, and other groups have been coming along, and it was just a great thing to do. So pass it along because I know other people want to say stuff.
It was a coming together.
So that was really like an impactful moment because the OGs, we had been here like a little bit. You know, we put up the bones and then we came back and we saw the wall weaved in and this, that, and the other, and we were incredibly excited to like see that there's other groups working on this, and the mystery was just so real. Then we come back, or I walked up one morning and I met what must have been the juniors, and we were chatting for a little bit, geeking out about the spot, and they told me that there was a box with a letter for me and I should go read it. So I go over and I read the letter, and I'm like elated. Like, I'm like, this is so fucking cool. You know, this, like, they left this box and it means something so much to them, and like it just looked amazing. So I opened the box. I had no idea that there was 3 other groups working on this thing, and it just brought it to a whole other level. And you know, the fact that I think that box was the crucial moment. I knew that it would just be exponential after that. It wouldn't just be a little bit here and there. The groups have some kind of like centrality now, and we could all like really build on it. And so like I called the OGs and let them know what was happening, and everybody was like amazed. And so,
and ever since then,
been nonsense.
and ever since then, we've traded numbers, and now we're all here together.
Yeah.
Woo!
Which that actually leads us right into the next question, which is a little bit self-explanatory, but have you met any of the other groups? Which...
No.
So we haven't met anybody else. No, but so I guess just some quick introductions. We got 3/4 of the goons over here.
3/5 actually.
3/5 of the goons. Then the 3 of us and the 2 of them over here. We are some of the forest folk. And this one at the end here, he is one of the OGs. The others were here earlier and have since left. So I think that question. I was not prepared for this.
Still a good job.
All right. So next question is, what inspired you to make the fort in the first place? So I think that that mostly comes down to our resident OG over here.
So this was a place back in 2005, 2006. Me and my friends used to have bonfires over here because it was out in the cut and nobody could tell. And so I just moved back here from Miami a couple months ago, literally a week before quarantine. And so just to get out the house, I came out here on a little walk and saw these 2x4s and a pile of branches. And I was like, this is cool. I couldn't tell whether somebody was planning on constructing or whether some people had already taken something down. A week later, nothing had happened, so I started putting up the bones. And then we came back, saw their note, the Forest folks' note on the 2x4s, and we were elated. So we just kept going. And yeah, that's the story for the OGs.
And this is how we initially started communicating. We actually,
Yep, that
someone,
2x4.
did you guys bring the pen? Or someone brought a pen and said, "Hi, smiley face."
Oh, that
And
wasn't us.
That was us.
That was us. That was the
Another
OGs.
random-
Yeah.
See, we're still
Solve
learning
that
about each
mystery.
other.
I think I might have done that.
No, we brought the pen
No.
like the last time. There was a pen here.
Got
at
touched
first.
the stick.
We're deciphering. Well, who did what?
Right.
Basically, we started communicating in a baggie up here before we communicated through the box.
Via box.
Yeah.
We left like
Mhm.
little snacks. We left
Yep.
little goodies and little books.
But no
Makes
like
sense.
written communication at that no written communication at that point. Yeah, but after the OGs had laid down the foundation, so the 2x4s were here and then they saw it and started laying down the bones like they said, and then these two were like, we gotta take you across the street. Just take a walk. I'm like, okay. And then next thing you know, Bonnie's like, oh, and there's this really cool fort they started over
I
here.
love how you guys all know.
And then we
Where's
it's over there. And the couple of the twigs are up there, and we started moving things. And then they're like, "Do we add to this?" I was like, "Yeah."
Put in the whole wall back
You
here.
asked me.
Yeah.
I was like,
You want to add to it? Yeah. And it was just
I knew it.
the moment that happened. We just started weaving everything through, and it just became something bigger than a walk in the forest. I don't even know. Like now we're doing this. We're hanging out all the time. It's fun. It's a good time.
Well, the one's stuck up
Yeah,
there.
wait, should I talk like the goon perspective?
Yeah.
Okay, so way it started was this one right here was screaming at all us, guys, there's something in the woods, we gotta go. And I was reluctant to go to a shack in the middle of the woods, but he dragged me here one way. We all were together at the lair and kind of left the box. And then one day after that, me and Ashley were like, hey, you want to go just like work on the fort, like put leaves on to make like a roof or something? And as soon as we get here, all the forest folk were here, and we just met them, and then we pulled the reverse and dragged him out here.
Nice.
And that was the first time we met. Was this place just literally and figuratively bringing us
Yeah.
all together?
It was actually kind of crazy because like when the box was first placed, we all were like missing each other by like minutes. Like there was even one time when we had come during a rainstorm, and I guess you guys were leaving as the rain was picking up,
We were
and we
crossing
like
paths.
literally like passed each other because they go one way, we enter like right behind them, and it was just crazy. It was crazy.
Anybody else?
Next question.
Next question. All right. The next question also sort of answers itself a little bit, but it's would you guys let anybody help you build the fort? And obviously, that's
All are
Yes,
welcome.
of
All are
course.
welcome.
that's how the fort came about
Yeah.
in the first place.
As long as
If
you
you
don't,
find this place, we want you to add to it.
Yeah.
as long as you don't destroy or harm or take anything, you're welcome here.
Yeah.
We actually
There
have
are
had
gifts to
somebody
take.
we've had somebody already contribute outside of the initial groups too on the original it might have been the updated Reddit post of the progress. Somebody had put a comment on it saying, "Hey, I'm at the fort right now. I found it, but I can't find the box anywhere." So we had a massive storm here the other day where, I mean, there were parts where everything was hip deep in water. We had this whole place decorated with tables and stuff, and it just all got washed out. Thankfully, we recovered just about everything, but a random Redditor happened to stumble upon it. It was like, "Hey, I'm here. I can't find the book." And I was like, "All right, give me 20 minutes and I'll be there." And I just met one of the random Redditors who is an awesome person who helped us like locate the box and a little bird cage we had and just help put more weaving in. So we're already just getting we were all strangers 2 days ago, but now we're all best friends, and now we're
Someone
still
just-
getting new strangers, so we're getting new best friends helping with this.
And we're so close that someone just farted, so like we all just did it, so it's fine. Oh, and so the rain was so much that like some of the furniture washed away. Like some of these logs that we're sitting on.
I think we gotta give the stick to the OG.
Yes.
All right, if we're gonna tell the story about the rain.
Yeah.
So really, it starts with the night before the rainstorm because me and another OG were chilling here playing chess, and it was raining outside, but we didn't. It was dry in here. Like the roof was doing its thing, and we'd said to each other like, if this wasn't here, we would have packed up long ago. So the next day it starts raining, and I come back out here, meet some of the other OGs, figuring that roof is gonna do the same thing. It was not the same storm. So we're scrambling because we have electronics in the backpack and stuff like that. So we're scrambling, and the rain is coming down hard. Like it's starting to fill up in here. We put a small tarp over the front entrance, and we're huddled out in the corner. And then I see the small stream that's on the side broke its riverbank, and the whole forest turned into a river.
That's
How big
Massive
would you
river.
say? 3 feet, 4 feet river.
Easily. Well, like by the time we got out of here, it was at least at our shins. We tried to carry out like my backpack with the electronics in a chair with a table covering it, the table that you brought. We get outside, everything's water. We're like, there's no way that this is gonna work. So we come back, put the chair on top of that table that I brought, and then we were trekking through here for an hour and a half. The water was like at our shin, at our thighs, at our waist at certain points. There's certain points where it drops off. So there was one point where like I took a small step and I was neck deep, and the other OGs had to pull me out. Like it was crazy. Like it was, and Khabib lost his sandals, so he was doing the whole thing barefoot, stepping on thorns.
Ow.
But it was nuts. So we came back. By the time we got out of here, the rain had settled. So we came back in to retrieve the rest of our stuff, and everything was washed away. All the decorations, these giant logs were washed away. Like it was incredible that this was even standing, and somehow the book bag and the chair on top of a table was standing. I was amazed. But we all came back today, and it's stronger than ever. Like we've reinforced everything.
Let's
It's
give
really
ourselves a
amazing.
hand.
Yeah, I'm proud of
so
everybody.
corny, but like,
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna pretend I have built this. I want to make sure it's still like it hasn't stopped recording
Oh yeah.
because that would suck.
Did you ever hit the play button?
We're still good. Yes, it is recording. It's recording.
If you didn't hit record, it's
We'll do it for a third
I
time.
think we got a next question.
Yeah, sure.
Next question.
All right. So, knowing what you guys know now, knowing what we know now, if we were to start over, would we do anything different with how we built the fort, or I guess how we went around with the box and the letters and everything?
one thing I say we would do differently would be kind of think about that more, because the storm definitely was devastating and we lost some stuff. Like we left all the like saws, tools, axes, and hatchets we just leave it in the forest. And after a storm, the saw and the axe is just completely gone. So I think if I were to redo anything, it would be to kind of like weatherproof it, like stick it in between two big logs or something, so that with wind and water, it's still going to stay there and not get stuck. Waterproof box also.
We need to make a door.
Yeah.
We need to make a door now so nothing gets swept away.
No, I was thinking because
No, it went through the
because we
sides
can
and everything.
knock
Yeah.
As we're asking answers.
We would also I think we want to figure out a way to put a second level. Look, we say like we are going to do this differently. We can always expand. We want to build more rooms and other little connectors and
Yeah.
just keep continuously improving. Maybe some blueprints would have been better, but the framework was already there for us.
a little faux stealing it. A little faux fireplace, because like this is great, but not enough. Yeah. So warm.
What's great about the fort is that there was no plans, there was no blueprints. It was just a bunch of sticks laid up, and then we just started weaving things through. And that's what I think I love about this most is it wasn't planned at all between any of us. We just started putting stuff together, walking away, coming back to something different, being like, oh my gosh, they added this, they added that, then adding our own stuff, and then coming back. It was the exponential growth of it was just amazing. Like I would take that any day over any blueprint.
Absolutely.
Very well.
Our hearts for the our hearts for the blueprint.
That doesn't answer the question, but thank you.
And also, I'm kind of like straying from the path of the question, but if we, did we get to the question of like if we have any advice?
Not yet.
Okay, I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah, I think that's the last question. You good?
Yeah.
Alright, shit.
Good job.
Nope, I had it.
I wish we had more candles for Citronella.
And
Yeah.
we need
Yeah.
some small candles to that little lantern there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Next question, which I already had prepared in my brain, just a dramatic pause, was asking if we had built any other forts. And I think part of that story is that we've learned by sharing our story about how much this is a part of people's lives, like childhood for everyone. A lot of people out there just building forts in their childhoods. Anybody have any specific stories?
Yeah. Years ago, when I was a kid, out near my grandma's house was like a wooded area with like different like trails and stuff like that, like bike trails. And I had actually built like a small little tiny fort. Like we're talking like falling over a tree, take a couple big sticks, lay it up against it, and then you have like a little place just to hang out. It was a great place. I used to do that, but then like fast forward to now, like I would have never thought I'd actually be rebuilding a tree fort in the woods like this. And this is like huge. Like what you'd say it'd be 15 feet long,
About
probably.
Yeah.
15 feet
feet,
by
yeah.
maybe
Yeah,
like
we can all fit in
8-ish,
there.
8,
Yeah,
10
eight.
feet.
Eight.
So
15 by 8. Or, yeah.
Big.
Yeah, 120 square foot. That's not bad.
Yeah.
So I did scouts, and one of the outings we went on every year was wilderness survival. What we do is we'd spend the night Friday in a tent, then Saturday they'd kick us out. We'd have to go find a spot in the woods near campsite and build our own shelter for the night. Usually it was fallen trees, sticks, get them close enough so you could put leaves on. One year the fanciest thing we did was just put ropes around 4 trees are perfectly together, put some sticks over and make like an actual square. And that was probably the most impressive thing, but this is about easily twice the size of that square with no ropes or anything. So this is easily the biggest and best fort that I didn't really build. These guys built it and I get to take credit for it.
Oh, we all built
I put
it.
some roof in.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Ashley?
Yeah.
Okay.
You look like
Hi,
you were
what's up? I'm
reaching for it.
talking. Hello, how you doing? So I've always lived in like a townhouse my entire life. I never had like trees in my backyard, and I've always wanted to build a fort. You know, always as a kid I would see it on like TV shows, movies, all that. And so when we found this fort, you know, and I just saw the structure of it, and I was just so in awe of it, and I was just like, oh my god. Just imagine what you could do on the inside, because I just love decorating things. So,
awesome.
you know, when the flood happened, I was really devastated because, you know, a lot of my personal items that I brought here, like, something I would change, sorry to go back to the other question, was not bring as much stuff, because I went crazy not thinking about the river, not thinking about storms and stuff like that. But, you know, I just love this fort so much because I feel like, you know, we can all make it our own and put our own touch to it.
Our own essence
Yeah.
and spirit.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Anybody else? Alright. So, I like that we have a talking group.
Yeah.
Next question is, what do we use the fort for? And I was saying a little earlier, I kind of like the idea that the fort is sort of its own activity. We come out here to build the fort,
It is
to
a
work on the fort,
verb.
to meet other people that come to the fort. But those things aside, does anybody have any things we do use the fort for?
If I don't have anything better, my first thought is, hey, I should probably go to the fort and maybe we could get like a fire pit down the bank, or maybe we can build a swing a little bit nearby, which we did. So honestly, this is just like something to do, especially since it's the pandemic going on right now, and everything I actually want to do is closed and costs money. So it's just a great place to go to like actually do something and have some kind of impact.
So I agree with you, Shep. And this is a great place to come, and I am fully about disconnecting, but disconnecting from technology, disconnecting from the outside world, but reconnecting with fellow new friends, and we encourage everybody to do this, to either build your own or add to a fort that you've found in the woods, just on a random hike. Parents of children, do this with your children, teach them about the outdoors, and get back to nature. Absolutely.
Yeah, and going off of you about disconnecting from like the world and stuff, I had a rough couple weeks these past 2 weeks, and just like coming here has like been such a relief, and it gets your mind off of so many stresses and like things that make you upset that you when you wouldn't be here. So definitely coming into the outdoors, and especially in a place like this that's just like it's magical. Like you can easily say it's magical, and it just like totally just changes you when you get here.
Yeah, I would say, you know, the world as a whole is something that you can't control, you know. But regardless, you know, when, you know, here amongst nature, you know, nature is something that has always provided and never judged. So no matter what you're going through, no matter what's going on in the world, in your life, no matter what, nature will always provide. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, me and my friends, or just me personally, you know, we try to get out into nature as much as possible. I came out here just to sit, just to be, you know, and so I don't think we get caught up. You always got to do something, and you don't always have to do something. Sometimes you could just be and reconnect, because it's something that we forget about a lot. We're electrical beings, and yet we insulate ourselves with shoes and this, that, and the other. We only step on asphalt and cement and this, that, and the other. And so it's important for us to come out and ground ourselves, just like an electrical outlet always has a ground, you know? And so, you know, I think it's important. And then, like you said, like, it becomes a verb just to do it, just to be in there, and like you put your hands together and do something out there, and look what happens. Like, you meet some like-minded people with some amazing stories, and it's a community that always existed but never had the lines of connection, and so that's really a beautiful thing. Really
Beauty.
Yeah, I'm really glad you went after me, because I would not want to follow up your thing with one.
All right, let's go to the next question. Daniel.
You got a 5-page
the next
essay, and I got
The next question is actually the last question, which Bonnie already sort of
Oh, yeah.
asked a little bit. But, that is, if somebody else were to decide they wanted to build a fort, what advice would you give?
Everybody?
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we can just pass the stick down, and everybody can give like
Yeah,
one
okay.
piece of advice.
Don't live with boundaries. Have an open mind. Like, it's really, you know, cheesy to say anything is possible, but when you put your mind and effort to building it or doing something, you can really get it done. And this shows really that.
I'd say be free to express who you are. You know, if you feel confined, you know, out in society with people, you know, building a fort or a place like this, you know, feel free to express your true colors and, you know, find your peace, find your ground out here.
Biggest thing I think about this place is that you get what you give. So the more like effort and everything you put into it, the more you get out of it. If I just kind of came here, sat on my phone, I would just think of this as like a spot to chill. But like now that, like, you know, I got some ornaments and stuff to put around, put a little bit of work on building different stuff, the roof, everything, and now this is just so much more than a place to chill, and it's like my home.
I mean, just go out there and do it. Like, if anything, like, fight through the insecurities of like, what if people don't like it? As long as you like it, do it. Like, build a fort, have fun.
All right.
Buckle in, guys.
Oh boy.
There's many things that you need to make a good fort. You need friends. You need the time. You just need everything to line up. Because, like, even on a bad weather day. But really, to make a good fort, all you need is a good stick.
I totally blanked. I was gonna go with good stick. And, I don't know. Just say yes to more things. We wouldn't be out here hanging out with people we've never met. In a fort with some very new and innovative ideas, some of which did not work out on the first try.
Trial and error.
But you know, we said yes. We wouldn't be here if we hadn't done that. So I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we're making this video and hanging out with all these new people.
think there's so many connections that have been made through this that when the universe is calling, answer it, because it's just, the fort is much more than the fort at this point. It's kind of like a metaphor for an entire community. Like the fort is, you know, it's a fort, but you know, it's brought, you know, the forest folk and the OGs were going together in a camping spot that some of us went to a decade ago in the middle of nowhere, just like coincidentally. Like there are just connections being made through it. So when the universe is calling, answer the call.
Absolutely. I second and I repeat everything that was already said. And to add an analogy that I read, to be your best self, you have to be like a tree. I'm getting all philosophical. You have to.
But if you were
have
a tree.
If you were a tree, Brian, what tree would you be?
Be that one.
That's
Be that
another
one.
episode. So the analogy is you have to be like a tree. You have to have a strong foundation. You have to put and set your roots. And the more you put your roots out, the stronger your foundation will be. You have to stand tall. You have to have a trunk that's stable enough and that you will keep reaching up towards the sky. And you have to grow your branches out. And then you also have to grow leaves so you can absorb things that is out and about. So you take in and then you put out. So much like a tree, we all have to be.
Yeah, I like how it started saying, you know, the boundaries that you have in your head. Thing is like, this isn't any of ours backyard or place that we own. This is just the county. Like, we're out here.
And we're trespassing on private property.
And the thing is that, like, you know, a lot of people don't have like a place where they can just officially build something like this. But if you find a patch of woods, nobody can tell you can't put one stick here and another stick on top. Like, you know, you don't need rope, you don't need, I mean, it'll help, but like, you know, you don't need all these different things to build a structure, to build a community and things of that nature. So I think the boundaries in our head, because we think, oh, I can't do that, or oh, somebody's gonna say something, this, that, and the other, and you know, it holds you back from doing something that you would love doing. And so, yeah, remove those boundaries from you. I like that. And
no limits.
Everything, yeah, there's never any limit. The only limit is your own
Sky
doubt.
is the limit.
Yes.
Only limit is your own doubt, so don't doubt. Yeah.
So I believe now it's a walk around of the.
Yeah. So the last question was if we could just see what the fort looks like now. So I think if Aaron wants to take him on a tour of our
Take you on a little tour.
Wait, can I go on the swing?
Yeah, we'll show the swing too. We have another new development today. So some of the stuff got washed away, but we still have a really nice entrance. I'm gonna step back a few steps so you can kind of get a better idea of what it looks like. I mean, there's just so many branches. Also want to note, all the green on here, since we've had like storms and whatnot, just about everything was taken from an already fallen tree, maybe one that had recently fallen. We really did our best to not harm any living trees that were still standing, because we're nature folk, we're the forest folk. We want to be able to preserve. And then we're coming around to the last side. And it's crazy, you really can't see into it very far. Step back a couple paces so you can kind of see. Big. And then if we walk down here, we just, goons built themselves a nice little swing today. A couple paces away, but not too far. They found a really, really great tree to set it from. Cleaning up our trash. We got a nice swing now.
Yeah.
This man is actually 7'4", so you can tell how great of a swing it is.
9'6" actually.
9'6". All right, that's gonna wrap it up here, and thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for your questions. We'll be happy to share any more updates we have with you. They're happening daily, so just stay tuned and keep an eye out for more updates. Stay safe. Let me try it again. Stay safe, everybody.